Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Coming through. Hello, hello.
Hello, this is Ayala. How are you all?
Hi, Miss Sakia. Good to see you.
Long
It's
time no see.
I know, right?
Hi, Nancy. Hi, Miss Rose. We got Daniel coming on camera.
That almost never happens.
Well, we're glad that everybody's here this evening. We're gonna wait for probably another minute until we get started. I see Harishini's on. Harishini, I hope I pronounce your name right. Ta-da. All good, Taz. I got Sophia on. Ryan. Hello, Ryan.
Hello.
All right. We've also got Robert Vargas III. Myra's here. Hi, Michael. Sophia's on camera. It's so great to see so many wonderful faces. Probably give one more minute before we get started. We'll start right at 6:35. And then we'll have our president kick us off with our meeting this evening. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Cha cha cha. I almost did the cha cha cha, Charmin. Sorry. Oh, what a day. All right, y'all, we're at 6:35. We will go ahead and get started. I'm so happy to pass the mic over to our president, Ms. Amatullah Contractor.
Thanks, Nicolette. Hi, everyone. My name is Amatullah Contractor. I am the current and also outgoing president of the Asian American Democrats of Texas. Really glad that you guys were able to join our pre-convention caucus, and just appreciate all of the engagement. And I'm just really, really excited and looking forward to convention in June. I have a very quick update. First of all, I want to say like a big thank you to our election committee, Nabila Mansour, Becca DeFelice, and Francine Lee for taking the charge. A couple of updates on that front is that our slate, our ballot is officially set. And so we actually have our president, our vice president, and treasurer running unopposed. And so they will most likely automatically be elected at our convention in June. And that will be Nicolette Ardiente, David Nguyen, and Tasneem Michael, who are running for those three positions. We do have three candidates for our secretary position, and you will be hearing from them very shortly. But without further ado, I would love to pass it to Nicolette to really kind of help run this meeting and tell you all guys all about convention. So I'll pass it to you, Nicolette.
Thanks so much, Willa. And thank y'all again. So, hi, if I haven't met you, my name's Nicolette. My pronouns are she, her, sha. I am the current outgoing SDEC member for Congressional District 23. And so, as one of AADT members, I went ahead and decided to with the help, of course, of our leadership to do our pre-convention to kind of help not only our A and HPI caucus members prepare for convention in, which feels like 3 weeks or so, which is wild to me. That will all be in Corpus Christi. Is it 3 weeks? No, it's like a month. It's just about a month. It's about a month that will be all together. So this information is meant to serve not only you as caucus members, but also help you plan, of course, for convention. This presentation was also done with the help of a lot of folks that I know of that also helped put that information together. First and foremost, I was going to say Myra actually helped out, like give a baseline to a bunch of folks. So thank you, Myra, for helping us do this baseline. But this presentation, again, is to serve all of y'all. And if you have any questions, and we're anticipating over the next couple of weeks to finding some more additional resources to help support folks coming to convention in Corpus from all parts of the state, we're going to make that happen. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen, except where is my screen? All right, I'm going to pause real quick and shift over. So give me 1 second.
At this point,
Nope. Oh, I love Zoom so much. Okay, present. Mhm. Right beyond here. Okay. Woo, there we go. All right. Welcome everyone again to the AANHPI Caucus Pre-Convention, and let's get into things. So our first kind of like a brief agenda of what to expect is really what we're doing to get ready for convention. Their convention website, the TexasDemocraticConvention.com, is going to be your main source and hub for all the information that you need. I wanted to flag too, David, can you also make sure closed captions are on for folks so that way they can have that if they need to. And in addition to that, they'll also be, that's the main place where you're going to find information about the hotel accommodations. If you have not already reserved your rooms, I highly, 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 highly recommend that you go ahead and do that today. There should be some blocks still open, but as of course, this meeting, I haven't double checked anything, but I really want to preface, if you haven't booked it already, or if you haven't finalized your accommodations, please do so. There are also at the website, you'll have, the calendar where you can purchase event-specific tickets, and we'll go through a little bit over the course of that. Again, the calendar where you can find all the information, and then the app in which the entire TDP is using to help communicate, and you could set up with Unified so that way you get additional announcements and everything you need in preparation for convention. With that being said, this was a list of all the different hotel accommodations. I won't go through every single one of them, but if there's one that you prefer, I would highly recommend booking it sooner rather than later. We've got 2 pages worth of that. Or 1 page, excuse me. So getting ready for convention, we're going to kind of go through a high-level overview of what to expect over the 3 days, from Thursday, June 25th to Saturday, June 27th. Most folks are going to start coming in around 3 o'clock on Thursday afternoon. Whether you're coming in a bus full of folks or you're carpooling with a bunch of people, you can generally expect to start coming into Corpus Christi around 3 o'clock p.m. There will be an outdoor welcome concert featuring some local musicians and performers, a ticketed event happening at 5:30, and then of course at 7:30 p.m. Bobby Pulido is going to take that stage for that outdoor concert that's open to all. And if you're interested in getting some VIP seating, you can also purchase those tickets. Right. And Friday is really a big part of the day. This is where we're going to start signing in and credentialing in the lobby of the Hilliard Center. There's going to be an expo hall that's kind of open for all folks. So this is where you're going to see different vendors who are either selling stuff, candidates who are there, really folks and clubs that are also there. It's an opportunity for you to kind of like hear and see from different folks all across the state. There's also an area for the influencer and podcast row, which is only for ticketed access. Now, the bulk of our meeting is going to happen on this Friday is for our caucuses and our congressional districts based on where you live all throughout, whether you're CD1 to CD37, right? Specifically for the AANHPI caucus, we are meeting at 9:30 a.m. Our room is TBD at this time, but at 9:30, you can expect to meet all of us at the convention center together for the official AANHPI caucus, and of course, the swearing in of all the new the party-wide officers for AADT. Afterwards, there are also some training series opportunities. Feel free, as all of these caucuses meetings are happening, you can pop in, pop out. Some of them will have voting time, so we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Some of them may not. So really, it's really good if you can look at that calendar ahead of time and kind of plan out where exactly where you want to be. If you're going with a group of people, it'll also be really great if you divide and conquer. So highly, highly recommend that part. All right, on Friday afternoon, continuing afterwards, there are a couple ticketed events, like I mentioned earlier. There's a VIP lounge, there's a Blue Wave luncheon, an elected officials happy hour, VIP clutch, and then general session is going to happen from 5 to 8 p.m. on that Friday night. This is where you're going to hear from our top of the ticket candidates. I wrote governor because we're manifesting, right? Governor-elect Gina Hinojosa, candidate for U.S. Senate James Tallarico, and our keynote speaker, United States Senator Cory Booker, and of course our other keynote speaker, Bernie Sanders. So with that being said, those 3 hours are also going to be the time you're going to hear from videos, of candidates who are also running for party-wide offices. And we'll talk specifically about those later. But this 3 hours, this is where you're going to see all of the star power come through on Friday night. So we anticipate you being there really from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Right afterwards, lucky for us, you get to party with the best the best caucus party, I say. The best caucus party happening from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. It is the AAPI Caucus Happy Hour at Old Crest Live. We have the amazing opportunity to be at this really cool karaoke place and have amazing dinner. Hors d'oeuvres, really prepared for everybody. And I'll show you the link on the next slide so that way you can sign up. And there's also, of course, Nightcap with the Chairs, which is a ticketed event, and a Speaker's Lounge, which is also another ticketed event. So there's opportunities where, you're able to attend for free 99, be in partnership with folks, and the same thing, there are opportunities to you pay a certain amount and you get access to those events. So like I said, our AAPI Happy Hour Caucus is happening. It's a sip and sing, so you'll be able to join in on us with us, singing in the best ways we know how. And even if you aren't a great singer, maybe you are, or maybe you're all over the place, this is a really great opportunity for all of us to hang out, really relax and learn more from each other and celebrate 35 years again of Asian American Democrats of Texas. So we look forward to seeing all of y'all there. Right. I believe David will also drop the link for that one in the chat if he hasn't already. We're moving on to Saturday. So Saturday is really another big day in the sense of this is where we'll also vote. So we'll have the Lady Bird Breakfast, which is a ticketed event. Again, the expo hall is going to be open. And then from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., that's if you are on a permit committee, that's when you'll meet. And then we'll have our general session from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. general session. We anticipating ending at 5 p.m. on Saturday. So all the business will be done, all the voting will be done, everything will be done by 5 p.m. So if folks are anticipating leaving Saturday night, definitely do so. Or if you want to stay over an additional night, you're welcome to do so, so that way you're not rushed leaving out of Corpus on Sunday morning. So a little bit of what to expect. A little bit of what to expect as a delegate yourself. What do we get to do at convention? So we get to iterate and improve upon the Texas Democratic Party platform. We can iterate and improve upon the Texas Democratic Party rules. We can pass resolutions that really reflect our democratic values. And we also elect people both at our state Democratic Executive Committee and also at our statewide officers. So for each of us that live in specific congressional districts, you're electing your representatives for that congressional district to 2-year terms to represent our vested interests at the state party year round. So think of it, if you're a local precinct chair, this is like a precinct chair at the statewide level. Those folks are there to help not only our county party chairs, but of course, folks and delegates within the community to help get people excited all year round in terms of engagement for our upcoming elections when it comes to what'll be our next primary. So with that being said, it's our SDEC members and then our executive statewide officers. This includes our chair, vice chair of finance, treasurer, and secretary to 4-year terms. So at convention, we'll have the opportunity to hear from these not only elected officials, but also these candidates from across the state. And we can take this as an amazing opportunity to organize and train with our fellow Democrats from across the state, which is like the best part because we get to maybe meet people we haven't seen in 2 or 4 years, whatever it may be, or we'd be able to make new friends and think of what are new possible collaborations and opportunities to work together. If ever in doubt, there is a call to convention that really has a bulk of all this information kind of all together, many, many pages. So it's as a result of attending our meeting today, you're going to get access to not only the slide deck, but of course to the call to convention, if there was anything in particular you want to learn more about. So right here, I'm going to talk a little bit about how our online ballots work. And so for folks who have already voted for your permanent committee members, this is nothing new to you. However, if you did not vote for any of those permanent committee voting members, this is still an opportunity, kind of like a refresher, because either way, we're going to be voting for our SDEC members through online voting and our statewide party officers through online voting. So the actual ballot is going to come through as an email with your code, a link to the ballot in your county/congressional district. It'll be in there, a secret word that you'll use to pop it in. For congressional districts, your ballots will close on Friday at 9:30 p.m. And for statewide officer voting, the ballots are going to close on Saturday at 11 a.m. So this is just a sample ballot on the screen. It'll have, of course, like your kind of like your information here on the top underneath where this says sample ballot, but then your verification code, you'll copy and paste that in. The security word, you copy and paste that in, and then you'll fill out all the votes or, your information. So how online ballots work, we obviously use a ranked choice voting system. So if you haven't done that yet, we also have a video to kind of walk through what that looks like. You'll have candidate A, B, and C. Your first choice is who you want to win. Second choice, who you want to win if your first choice is no longer an option, and so on and so forth. No election for uncontested races, and co-chairs appoint for any vacancies. So that was specifically for permanent convention committee. So we won't have to worry about this part. So again, what are we voting for? So we've got two big ones. For your state Democratic Executive Committee, I talked kind of briefly about it, but again, these are basically your precinct chairs at the statewide level, there to represent. Certain caucuses will also elect SDEC members. SDEC members come from constituency caucuses, might or might not be elected at convention. So like for instance, with our caucus for AADT, ours is not in conjunction with convention. That's why it kind of happened all now leading up to convention. And some of them, and I'll talk a little bit about it later, are a part of the convention. On our statewide party officials, again, I mentioned state party chair, vice chair of finance, state party secretary, and treasurer, which we'll be hearing from some folks today too. If you're kind of wondering, who are those folks? I haven't heard from them. Maybe you have, you haven't. And so this is what I was talking about earlier with our caucus leadership. There will be voting for the Hispanic caucus, Black caucus, Texas Stonewall Democrats, and Texas Environmental Democrats. So here we've got a quick video. I'm going to try to make it quick. Let's see. Oh, nope. I can't do it here. Come on. Can we not play? We cannot play. So with that being said, that's going to come up as a follow-up video over to y'all. And now I'm going to actually open it up. Man, we're making great time. We're going to open it up for candidate speeches. So I think first and foremost for our candidate speakers, this is the order we're going to go through. For AADT party officers, and it's the only one we're going to have actually speak for all those candidates is the secretary position, but I'd love to take an opportunity for myself, David, and Taz to also address y'all here in a little bit. For folks that are running for SDC positions, and for folks that are also part of our statewide party officials. And all right, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Everybody looks so excited. I didn't see people's faces. They were like, what's happening? Okay. Well, hi again. I think some new folks came in too. So I just wanted to say on behalf of AADT, I'm so excited to be your chair-elect for the Asian American Democrats of Texas, which is so wild to say because I feel like all of us who have put our names in to run are doing this because we love not only our culture and our heritage and what we get to share, but we also love sharing it with other folks and coalescing power all around that. So on behalf of our new leadership team. And just on behalf of myself, I really am so excited to get the work done together with all of y'all. And I know I can say the same thing for all the folks that are running. So I'm happy to actually pass the mic over to David to introduce himself and say a couple words.
Gosh, that's spotlight on me. Hello, everyone. Good to see a lot of friends and also new faces. Those of you who don't know me yet, I am the guy behind the screen and the guy behind all the emails and posts and everything that you've been seeing with AADT for the last 2 to 3 years now. So it is an honor to meet those of you who are new and great to see lovely faces again. I have the honor of getting to serve as vice chair with our chair-elect, Nicolette. And I know that we have a lot of very exciting plans heading into the midterms, and especially we're also forward thinking. We're very bold with our plan vision going into 28 as well. And so we're excited to keep carrying on the torch, for the next 35 years of AADT. And so really excited to be doing this with all of you and hope that we could do y'all proud. So, and I'll pass it over to my boy Taz, our treasurer-elect.
Thanks, David, and thanks, Nicolette. I'm super excited to be here, working with everyone across the state of Texas. Hi, everybody. My name's Tasneem. I'm my shorthand is Taz. I do a little bit of work as a national level organizer for a national political nonprofit, and then also as an admin director for a group here in Texas. Hey, Mina, good to see you. Some of you may not know me. I'm new. I've been on the board for AADT. I remember I was hopped on and invited and put right straight to work. So I'm super glad to be here. To David's point, it's exactly that. It's the next 35 years, especially being a treasurer in this role. I'm looking at how can we develop financial sustainability models for the long term. What are we going to be doing to help ensure that we invest in the fastest growing demographic in our community, but also one of the most diverse in not just our country, but specifically to our state. Super excited to get to work with all of you and making sure that we build real political power for Asian Americans within the context of our party, and making sure that we can deliver in this midterm year and in the presidential year and for years to come. We got to be thinking more than just in 2 and 4 year cycles. We got to be thinking about how we want to develop for the longer term. So super excited to be here. Looking forward to serving alongside you all. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Taz. We would be remiss if we didn't mention our president is still on right now. Amatullah, thank you for your leadership as you stepped into this role when you were to be the interim chair of AADT. You have led us through a lot over this past, what has it been, a year or so? This past year, Amatullah, you've been phenomenal, and you continue to grow and really help develop out Harris County even more so. We wish you so much luck as you continue to be the campaign manager for Commissioner Leslie Briones, and we know you're going to crush it over the next couple of years. So I really appreciate, Amatullah, all of your service and everything like that. All right. With that being said, I'm actually gonna pop over. So we mentioned earlier, we do have the secretary position, excuse me, that is being contested. So I do want to call up our secretary candidates if they're all here. I know Lakshmi Ramakrishnan, she was not able to attend, so she sent over a video, excuse me. So I just wanted to make sure if either Angel Guzman or I believe the other person, David, who is the other person?
It should be Regina Carter.
Regina Carter. I don't see them in here.
Yeah, I don't see them. I don't know if they sent a video message either. I don't see it.
I didn't see it either. Okay. All right, hopefully I can get the video to go up. Let's see.
Hi, everyone. I'm sorry I couldn't be with you tonight. I'm attending an award ceremony for my daughter who's finishing up the 8th grade. And as an Asian American parent, I'm hoping she wins some awards. So please wish us luck. My name is Lakshmi Ramakrishnan, and I'm running to be AADT's secretary. To tell you a little bit about myself, I live in Sugar Land in Fort Bend County. with my husband and 2 daughters who will be attending Fort Bend ISD high schools in the fall. I'm a lawyer. I've been practicing since 2002. Most of my practice has been with a nonprofit organization, and I'm currently managing a team of lawyers with that organization. I've been involved in Democratic Party politics in Fort Bend County for many years, starting with Wendy Davis's campaign in 2014. I've helped on another number of other Democratic candidate campaigns, and I served for 7 years as a precinct chair with the Fort Bend County Democratic Party. I've been a member of AADT for many years, but most actively involved in the last 2 years. Last year, I helped fundraise for and plan the 35th anniversary toast, which was such a great success. I served as chair of the bylaws committee, and we were able to revise the bylaws after 10 years. I was on the endorsement committee and sat in several of the endorsement screenings for our 2026 slate. And I was appointed to the advisory board by the current president of AADT. As secretary, I want to take all of these years of experience of organizing in the Asian American community here in Fort Bend County and the experiences that I've gained from learning from other Asian American families what's most important to them, and use that to highlight the issues that are important to our communities. I also think that there has never been a more important time for us to get organized as Asian Americans. It is often said that if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. And that is particularly true now in Texas politics, where conservative politicians are demonizing our communities in order to get votes, without any care for how that hate-filled rhetoric could harm us. So as secretary, one of my goals will be to recruit new members, to retain existing members, and to help make sure that everyone is participating. We will be doing more to publicize events and to just increase voter education and outreach, because AADT can lead the way for our communities, and I would really want to be a part of that. So thank you for considering my candidacy, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye-bye.
Oh, I was unmuted. Thanks. That was good. Awesome. So thank you for that. I think we're going to move over to the lineup of what we mentioned earlier in terms of positions. So we're going to start with any folks that are running on SDEC positions. This also includes any of the affinity caucuses. So I'd love to welcome up, I think, Daniel, you're first on my screen for TD.
Perfect. Thank you, Nicolette. Hello, everyone. My name is Daniel. I am currently the president of the Texas Environmental Democratic Caucus. I got elected this past in 2024, and before then I served as vice president of the Environmental Caucus. We've been working to build this national network of environmental groups throughout the parties across the US, and we've been pretty successful at recruiting throughout the entire nation as much as we can. Where it's been a little difficult has been within this state, right? Being that there are so many more priorities and so many other issues in this state that sometimes environmental issues kind of take a backseat. So this time I've decided that I'm not just going to run alone, right? I'm going to run with a slate of folks who are able to do the work, who are able to bring in their skill set. One of them being a former state organizing director for the party, because we want to make sure that everyone understands the intersectionality of environmental issues within all our special interest groups, right? As well as everyone in the United States and Texas, of course. And I feel like we can kind of make this change and make the caucus a caucus that provides tangible organizing and tangible results for the state of Texas, right? We'd like to be working with so many nonprofits. And if there's an issue in your side of Texas, I want you to be able to reach out to us and say, what are the resources that you have so that we can advocate for these issues, right? I mean, we're going into Corpus Christi. We know it as ground zero, as the thing that is getting a lot of publicity because of the water issues that we're having in Corpus Christi, right? So this is the convention where we get to highlight environmental issues like never before. And in speaking, right, to Asian Americans and folks that come from cultures that are heavily impacted by environmental issues, I couldn't think of a more important group to talk to. So Daniel Ayala, running for TED president. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. All right, I think, let's see. So still running on the SDEC list. Yes, the playoff music. It's actually like the Oscars, but not really the Oscars. Kind
We
of.
actually use that during our endorsement screening, so we played off every candidate.
Yeah, for sure. I do see Robert Vargas the third for Stonewall.
Hey y'all, how are you? Can you hear me all right, Nicolette?
Yeah, sounds great.
It is so good to be on with you all. I will spare you the campaign speech. But what I wanted to do is just say thank you. Thank you for all the work that you all are doing, not just in the caucus, but in the communities that you serve. You know, as we do this work within the Democratic Party, I know that sometimes it's stressful and it's overwhelming. But I always say I didn't run for president of Texas Stonewall to be the gay guy at the meetings. I ran because I wanted to help build capacity and help do the work of the party and to make sure that the LGBTQ plus community, and as well as our minority groups and our caucuses, have a seat at the table. As a matter of fact, in November, when the state chair decided, the former state chair decided to take a stand against the LGBTQ plus community and say that we were the reason that we lost across the country, we were the first caucus to write a letter demanding for his resignation. And we worked really hard to make sure that we have a state chairman like Kendall Scudder, who is who is building capacity for our community, bringing in all sorts of great initiatives and projects. Listen, I want to, as I started saying earlier, I want to thank you all for the work you're doing. Every single new voter that you bring to the table, and every time you build capacity within your communities, it matters to people all across the state. It matters to the young lady that I met in Fort Bend, who told me that she couldn't vote in the Democratic primary, but wanted to meet Democrats because she was afraid of her husband. It matters to the young man I met in Laredo, who is, disillusioned and stressed about politics. And so it also matters to people like the woman that I met in Uvalde. She is so frustrated and she's stressed because her son, who's LGBTQ plus, can't come out of the closet. And she wants us to make sure, and she wanted me to implore people all across the state to make sure that we're showing up to the polls. As president of Texas Stonewall, it's about building capacity. It's about making sure that we have a seat at the table. And I'm proud of the work that we've done over the last year and a half, traveled over 17,000 miles, working hard on behalf of Texas Democrats. I ask for your support and your vote at the Texas Democratic Party Convention. Y'all have a great night.
Thanks, Robert. I know you were smirking when your playoff music came on.
I love it. I love the music.
All right. So actually, Katy Schmader just came on. Wonderful enough. Again, we're talking about SDEC folks that are running at the caucus level. So before we get to the statewide, I do want to pass the mic over to Katy to introduce herself and to everybody here.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I'm so late too. It's been nonstop today. I also have a brand new job working for, I know we don't have favorite statewide candidates, but I really love Gina Hinojosa. So I am on her campaign and so excited about that. Hi, I'm Katy Schmader. I think a lot of us have met before. And if we haven't, I'm really excited to meet you. And I'm really excited that you all have a space to talk about convention and be a part of convention. It's an exciting time, right? To be a part of the party. You might have known me as a previous role working for the state party. So I was organizing director and then chief party services officer
before I just had to jump back into some campaigns here in Texas to make sure that, again, we win statewide. So really, really excited about that, but also have a love for the state party and how it functions and how it works, and thought I could be really helpful in the environmental caucus. And so I'm running for vice president for the environmental caucus, which is really, really exciting. I'm normally someone who is behind the scenes and is someone who helps and supports others in getting elected. So this is a brand new thing for me. But to give you kind of the basis of why me, I've organized in the state of Texas for 8 years. I have been at every level. I have worked at the county level. I've been working with precinct chairs. I work with county chairs. I work with different demographics and different communities. We have been making sure that every voice is heard in this state. There's a timer with only 10 seconds left. Okay. And I think it's really important that we have that going forward. And so, yes, please vote for me.
Wonderful. Thanks, Katy.
Of course.
That's really good.
You would know, I'd go for an hour if I could. So good on y'all for the timers.
All good, all good. All right. Well, thank you again, Katy. We're going to move over to our statewide party officials. All right. I think everybody, I see actually, I see Monique Alcala first on my screen. So Monique, I'll give you 2 minutes on the mic.
Great. Thank you so much, everybody, for having me today. It's been great to see a lot of folks that I know that I've worked with when I was at the state party. If you don't know me, my name is Monique Alcala. I'm excited to be running to be not only the next chair of the Texas Democratic Party, but the very first AAPI chair of the Texas Democratic Party ever in history. And I'm coming to you as a native of Buda, Texas, where my grandmother, Helen Alcala, I'm half Mexican, half Filipino. That's a thing. But she opened the very first Mexican restaurant in the town of Buda, where I grew up. And in doing so, became the very first Hispanic woman business owner in the town. And I'm coming to you as a 15-year seasoned political professional who's worked on highly competitive races in Texas and across the country, including a 2-year stint at Emily's List, where I got the pleasure of meeting Avery Bishop, one of our favorite candidates in 2024. And she will tell you I recruited her to run for that seat in DFW. We got some amazing things done whenever I was an executive director at TDP as the main fundraiser, and quite honestly, the only fundraiser. I got us out of 6-figure debt. I launched the first partnership with the U.S. Senate candidate in over 30 years. And in one of the toughest years since 2010, we had record-breaking candidate recruitment. We just fell short by 50% of the House Democratic of the House Caucus. But none of this was done alone. We have raised millions of dollars with myself and our finance committee, called the Avengers, by the way. But since I left the party, we've had to rebuild quite a bit. We had a great, talented staff, and we built a coalition of in-state and national partners to help bring the TDP to a new level. And that's been rolled back quite a bit. So I'm running for chair because I know that so much is at stake this year. We have to put Gina Hinojosa, Katy Schmader into the governor's mansion. We have to put James Tallarico in the U.S. Senate. We have to flip congressional seats and state legislative seats like Christian Carranza. We have so many amazing leaders that are running up and down the ballot. And this year, our community can really show our power.
Thank you so much, Monique. All right, I think next up for another statewide position, we've got Miss Rose Salas. Miss Rose, the floor is yours.
Thank you, everyone. Sorry, my video is not working for some reason. But my name is Rose Salas, and I am the current member of the DNC. I have worked at the party for over 35 years. And if y'all were mentioning about how it's been 35 years since the AAPI was first launched, during that time, I was chair and was chair of the Rules Committee, which was instrumental in making sure that AAPI was part of the add-ons for the state, so statewide. I have, like I said, over 35 years of experience in working on the SDEC and the DNC level. I've one of my priorities is to ensure that not only do we elect our candidates statewide, we elect Gina as governor, but that we also make sure that all the different groups are included, that there's diversity, that there's transparency, that there is inclusiveness of everyone and all the different groups, and that we make sure that our youth are also involved, and there is that mentorship program for them to be able to be our future leaders and not just our busy bee workers, as I have was told across the state that the youth felt that they were taken for granted. But that's not what I've been known for. I've been known for being a mentor. I was a mentee many, many years ago, and I look forward to having your support and seeing you at the convention. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rose. She got it before the buzzer went off and summoned her off the stage. All right, we're going to move on to the next statewide party official list. And I think it's actually going to pass it over to my friend Myra for secretary.
Thank you, Nicole. Hi, everyone. My name is Myra Mills Tschirhart, and I'm running for secretary of the Texas Democratic Party. When I was elected 4 years ago as the CD12 committee woman to the SDEC, I quickly realized that serving as much as I wanted to required more infrastructure than what existed. I wanted a calendar that I could subscribe to with important dates. I needed a central place to put all of the resources and documents, and then I needed to build a communication system to get that information back to my delegates. And so I built all of those systems for myself. And while I was doing that, I realized something important, like maybe the fact everyone needed something like that to be effective in the role of SDEC. So I also realized that most people, when they serve, it's 8 meetings over the course of your 2-year term, 4 quarterly meetings. And so too often members spend much of their first term figuring out how everything works. And by the time they feel comfortable enough to participate, they're already running for re-election. And so I want to change all of that. As secretary, I want to continue creating the infrastructure that I've already been working on, helping every member succeed and feel like empowered to contribute. And then I want members to be connected to each other. You can blame me for the signal chat that the SDEC members are all conjoined in. So, but that's the kind of camaraderie I wanted. I felt very lonely at my first SDEC meeting. I want to make sure other people don't feel that way. And then I also want them to connect to their constituents. They should spend less time doing admin work and then more time being in their districts. And I love the admin work. So as secretary, it's a very vague role in the TDP rules, and that leaves a lot of opportunity to make it what the SDEC needs. So I want to be the person who builds the systems, the structure, the support that helps every member do their job more effectively. And so just when the TDP is organized, I truly see that we have the ability to elect more Democrats across Texas. And if you want to learn more about me, you can go to my website. I'll drop in the chat to myraforsecretary.com. And I hope to see y'all in Corpus. Thank you.
Thanks, Myra. Like, you got it right on the buzzer with that one. So really, really good timing. All right, next up for statewide party officers, I do have on my list here Daniel Ayala for Vice Chair of Finance.
Hey y'all, it's me again. I am also running for Vice Chair of Finance. Like I said, I've been in the SDC since 2022. And like Myra mentioned earlier, it takes a little while before you get the hang of how everything works at the SDC, the committees that you're a part of, when you start building the network and really getting things to work for the folks that you're representing, right? So I've put in the time to make that happen, but now I'm realizing like, I need to do more. There's more I can give to this party, right? So when I noticed that the vice chair of finance position became available, I spoke to a bunch of members at the SDEC who felt like we feel like you could be the addition that we're needing, that you are part of the youth in the party that we should be investing in, right? We've put in all this time and made all these connections, and then for us to just leave or to let somebody else come in and do the work that we've been doing all along, I want to show that we are growing talent within the party and that we're giving them a place to direct all of those skills that they build up and then help out the party in a very positive fashion. I want to bring in grassroots donations in a much more efficient manner that is being tracked properly by the party, where we can congratulate and thank folks for the work that they're doing for us, right? The time that they put in and actually making call time. I want to make sure that we activate SDEC members, since they are the precinct chairs of the state, and make sure that we teach them or nurture that fundraising ability that they can bring back to their county parties. I want to make sure that we are building excellent connections throughout the state with some of our major donors. And I know that I'm able to kind of leverage all those relationships so that we do well as a party and finally turn Texas the blue color it really should be. So also running for Vice Chair of Finance, Daniel Ayala. Thank you all.
Thanks, Daniel. And you got it right before the timer. I do want to highlight, we do have Chairman Kendall Scudder jumped on. I know he was on earlier, and so I want to make sure I give the opportunity to the chairman. Okay, Chairman, we see you.
Hey, thank you so much. I'm so sorry. I'm pulling double duty. I'm at an event in Bryan. So I just wanted to jump on. Thank y'all so much for, number one, being grassroots warriors for our party all across the state of Texas. Number two, for being delegates to the state convention. You can either sit around and complain about the party, or you can step up to fix it. And I appreciate y'all taking that step to get it done. It reminds me a lot of what I did last year whenever I ran for chairman of the party. When I won chairman last year, I inherited a party that was in terrible shape. And I think anyone who was involved in our party in the last election cycle, they know that to be the truth. I inherited a party that was deeply in debt, that had only a third of its precinct chairs full for the state of Texas and a fifth of its county chairs vacant around the state of Texas. Flash forward today, I'm the proud chairman of the Debt-Free Texas Democratic Party with a $30 million coordinated campaign that is focused on winning elections, not winning a whole bunch of arguments. I am very proud of the work that we have done, and I appreciate all of you for doing this work on the ground around the state alongside of us. This party should not be built top down. It should be built bottom up. You cannot lock a bunch of consultants in a room in Austin and buy your way out of the problem that we're facing. It takes organizing in every corner of this state. And so I'm proud that we've recruited and trained more than 1,000 precinct chairs since I have been chairman, and that we've recruited county chairs around the state and have been working to build that 254 county party. And we have been winning elections, including winning a seat in the state Senate that we overperformed by 31 points. When people said it was impossible, we stepped up to the plate, made over 1.5 million phone calls from our coordinated campaign, and got it done. I hope to have the opportunity to continue leading our party towards success, and I appreciate every day the opportunity to do it. The whole country is counting on Texas to meet a moment. And I know that together, with all of us operating on a team together, we can get that done. And so thank you for the opportunity, and I hope to have another 4 years to do that. I hope I can count on your voting convention.
Everybody's getting up right on the money. Thank you, Chairman. All right. Also for statewide party official, we have Marco Orrantia for state party chair. I'll pass the mic over to you, Marco.
Thank you so much, Nicolette. Hi, everyone. My name is Marco Orrantia, and I'm running for chair of the Texas Democratic Party because I believe that Texas Democrats deserve a party that matches the urgency of the moment and can lead us to victory. Service has just defined my life. I served our country, twice in combat as a gay man under Don't Ask, Don't Tell, where I learned discipline, resilience, and what it means to fight for something bigger than yourself, even when the system does not fully recognize you. When I came home, I continued that service here in Texas. I organized alongside union workers to fight for dignity and fair treatment. And for the last 15 years, I've worked with hundreds of Democratic campaigns across the state, helping build infrastructure we need to compete and win. For the last decade, I've worked inside the Texas Democratic Party itself. I've seen its successes, but I've also seen where we've fallen short. I know where the resources are missing, where trust has been lost, and how disconnected too many counties and local leaders feel from the state party. And that's why I'm running. Texas Democrats have long had a infrastructure and coordination problem. We have incredible organizers, candidates, volunteers, and communities ready to fight for change. What we need is a party structure capable of supporting them, one that's transparent and where there's accountability. That means investing in counties and local parties. It means putting organizers on the ground across the state, not just in Austin or in Dallas. It means supporting candidates with real resources, especially in critical state house races that will shape the future of voting rights, public education, healthcare, labor protection, LGBTQIA rights in Texas. And it means building a collaborative party with grassroots organizers, laborers, county parties, and coalition partners, rather than expecting them to carry the burden alone. This campaign is not about going backwards. It's not about personalities. It's about whether we're fully prepared for the future of Texas Democrats that Texas Democrats are walking into. I think we can win in Texas, but we have to organize, invest, and lead at the scale this moment demands. I'd be very honored to earn y'all's support.
All right, thank you, Marco. We're gonna move over. We have Savant Moore for treasurer. Mr. Moore.
Hey, how y'all doing? I'm at a community meeting right now, but thank you for the opportunity to speak before you. As you know, I ran for Texas Comptroller. I got almost 400,000 votes. And oftentimes when people run, they disappear. I don't want to be that person. I want to give my service to the party. I have a few initiatives that I would like to do. I want to increase our sustaining members to where we're at 10,000 members are donating $15 a month because we know we need the money for these candidates to win. I also want to partner with the state, with the county chairs, because it's so important. A lot of these smaller counties we forget about. You know, I live in Harris County, but I also work in rural counties as well, and it's important. But I want us as a party to do what we need to truly make sure that Texas can turn blue. So I'm running for this position because I know that I have relationships with people across the state. And so I hope that when you come to Corpus Christi, that I get to see you at my event on Thursday. I will have a reception, you know, get a free drink on me, get to see me, get to line dance with me. But I'm a person that's really about the work. I teach in the classroom. I'm an elected trustee. I live in my community. I do the work. I'm poll greeting every day, trying to get more Dems elected. And so I would like to use my service to be a part of this party. And I really thank you for what your organization does. May God bless you, and thank you for the opportunity to speak before you.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Moore. Oh, I can close this now, right? Yes, I can close this. All right. Last call for any other statewide party officials. I really hope I didn't miss anyone. Awesome. So if you had any
other candidates too, any other final candidates too?
Oh yeah, are there any other candidates? I'm sorry, that's what I meant. Candidates, you know, anybody running at this point. Okay, someone's running out of fists. I don't know what that means. With that being said, I also would indulge everybody. Of course, it's Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, and I'm surprised nobody introduced it. No, I was kidding. No, I should have introduced it, really. But all of us are celebrating AAPI Heritage Month. So I want to invite all of y'all to join us. We will be in Fort Bend in Sugar Land on next Thursday. March 28th. Oh no, what's wrong with me? May 28th. We're going to be celebrating over at Ailings in Sugar Land, and we'd love to see all of y'all there. It's an opportunity, again, to be in community with each other, celebrate APAM, celebrate the contributions that our community has and continues to do. So thank you, David, for dropping that link to RSVP in the chat. So if you're able to join us, we would love to have you because Sugar Land is such an awesome, amazing city. And if you didn't know, it's one of the 2 highest growing API populous districts in the state of Texas. So good things are happening in Sugar Land, always. So we'd love to see you. And if we don't see you until then, we will see you at convention. Again, not only at our AANHPI caucus meeting, 9:30 on Friday morning, but also at our amazing Sip and Sing that's going to be held over at Old Crest Live. So we are so excited for all the festivities, but know that this is your AADT that will serve this community, and really hope to continue providing y'all with more information on how do we bring out the best in all of us Democrats and bring out the Democrats to come out to vote come November. Come on, y'all. This is going to be the most exciting. We say it all the time. It's the most exciting election of our lives. And we know this even more so when we know that Democrats are literally in the cusp of winning back seats that have always been meant for us. So thank y'all again for joining us. We are ending early on a Thursday. Look at us. We are ending early on a Thursday. We hope y'all have a great rest of your night. Happy APAM. Happy Eid Mubarak for those who celebrate next week. And we will see y'all at our APAM celebration next week. Y'all take care. Bye-bye. Mm-hmm.